Welcome back everybody, it is me, Garmanza92, and we are back today with another MotoGP 23 video. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and my content if you haven't subscribed already, and if you do subscribe, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting me, my channel and my videos. And don't forget to hit that all important notification bell so that you don't miss any of them as they drop onto YouTube. So, we are back. One step at a time. Sam Garman's performance is convincing. CFMOTO finished the race in front of Ivan Ortola. Might result in additional support from the manufacturer. So here we go. We've got Assen Grand Prix round 8 of 21 here, as we've got the rival of Ivan Ortola again, and it looks to be mixed conditions for the race, which could be quite interesting. Assen normally a bogey track for me, so have to see how we get on around here. Obviously, we only need to be beating Ivan Ortola, so providing he's having a little bit of a poorer weekend as well, that could help us out a little bit. But yeah, obviously we want to be there at the front, or fighting for the win at least, potentially getting podiums. It's a wet practice 1 session, so that might not be too bad. At least we'll have some wet practice in this session as well, so, or in this Grand Prix weekend. So with that being said, let's just make sure we've got the wet tyres equipped, which we have. You can see it there. Garman's performance is convincing. CFMOTO finished the race in front of Ivan Ortola. It might result in additional support from the manufacturer. So here we go then, P1, and rather wet conditions so far. So we've got potentially mixed conditions in P2. P3 is going to be dry, qualifying is going to be glorious, and then mixed conditions in the race as well. So we might get a red flag during that race, depending on if it starts off dry and then goes to wets. Obviously, without the flag-to-flag ability for the Moto 3 and the Moto 2 class, you do get the you pick up a red flag and then you get to change your tyres and go back out. So we'll see how the weekend pans out. But for now, we're going to go with the setup that we have. I'm just going to check the ECU settings and run a 2 and a 2 for now. Engine braking at 3, of course. We've got medium, wet tyres on. Yeah, I'm going to get straight into track for this practice 1 session then and see how many laps we can do in the wet and see how quick we can be during the wet around here. Like I said, normally a bogus track for us, so the more laps the better here. So we're going to get out on flying lap. I will catch up with everybody once we have finished practice and we are heading into qualifying. Okay, so although we said that this is normally a bogey track for us, it would appear we do have some pretty good pace around here for a change. So you can see there the AI are about 0.6 of a second off of our quickest lap, which was a 145.7 that we did in P2. P3 we managed a 145.9, but then the conditions started to change, so got a little bit harder to do any more quicker laps. So we just came in and settled with what the lap we had. Looks like it's going to be glorious sunshine for this this qualifying session though. So we are straight through to Q2. Ivan Ortola is obviously in Q2 as well, so is our teammate. We are joined by Colin Vierge, Stefano Nepper, Felipe Furloin and Kaito Toba are all joining us from Q1 into this Q2 session. So then, here we are. We currently have a medium front and a soft rear, which we have done our quickest laps on, to be fair, and it recommends the medium front and a hard rear. I'm not using a hard rear for qualifying, that's not happening. Probably won't use it in the race either unless they finally sorted it out, but I don't know that I'm going to take that risk, if I'm honest, because I bet they haven't. So, here we are then. Q2, let's get out onto track. Hopefully we can continue the 145s. That's the sort of lap time we will be looking for. 145.7 is our quickest lap, so let's see how close we can get to that. We do have the pace to be on podium. We do have the pace to be on the pole position here. So let's see if we can clinch it, shall we? Okay, we are just going to take over from our AI. We have messed up the chicane in our first flying lap. Trying to carry too much speed through here. That's how we need to take the chicane. Right, we've got a rider in front of us, so we're going to use him as a bit of a marker. A bit of a target is Riccardo Rossi, sitting in 12th place. At the moment, at 146.7 is Yamanaka in pole position, but I would have said that time is going to go. Hopefully, obviously, we are going to beat it, but well, Diego Moreira's on 2 red sectors already, so far looks to be Diego Moreira. We are down on his time so far, so we are doing rather well as we come around the first sector. Second sector now. We go flat out through here, up the outside of Riccardo Rossi as we come around this corner, just as he clips my rear tyre there. That might have helped me out actually, having him as a target through there. That might have gained us some extra speed. One, we would have got a little bit of a slipstream. That was a bit close to that curb. But I like to pick up the later line through here so that you can carry as much speed coming out of this corner to then bring the speed into this corner as well. You can go flat out through there on these Moto 3s and through here, and then release just as you get into this left-hand curb. Here we go then, braking heavily into the chicane. Much better chicane through there. What is our lap time? It's a 1:45.2. That's our quickest lap. So the back marker there of Riccardo Rossi definitely doing us a favour. Diego Moreira is just coming out of the pits. Now that's our quickest lap of the weekend so far. So I can't see any of the AI getting anywhere near that, but I might be wrong in these conditions. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be wrong there. I think that is a very, very good lap. That's how easy it is to wheelie out of that corner. So yeah, let's see how that lap does us for this Q2 session. At the moment, there's no red sectors and there's only 3 minutes left, so I would have said that's going to be okay. To be fair, if we're going to be in this far in front during the qualifying sessions, 1.5 seconds, I think we're going to need to up the difficulty again. So we shall see how we get on at the race day, which is obviously the next session that we are going to be bringing to the video. Okay, so we did get some quicker times, but nowhere near as quick as our 1:45.2. I have no idea where that came from. It must have been the fact that we had Riccardo Rossi in front of us. Unfortunately for him, he was 7th, so not too bad actually. Our teammate down in 6th, and Ivan Ortola, more importantly, 17th. 17th place for Ivan Ortola, so just couldn't get a lap done in qualifying. Massively helps us out for the race, of course, because that is who we need to beat. So let's get straight into the Grand Prix and see how we can get on through here then, shall we? Variable, we do think it could rain towards the end of this session. Hopefully the rain holds out, we don't get any rain, but it's a possibility. It is a possibility that it could rain, so I just want to see. Yeah, they reckon it's off. Yeah, could be a possibility. We have a little bit of rain, as you can see up there. It does say 0% chance, but the fact that it's even up there makes me think that it could do towards the end of the session. Of course, you'll get a red flag. Now, I don't know if the rule applies that if you are within 2/3 of the final lap of the race, it just red flags it, or whether you red flag and you come back out on the soft tyres to finish off the last couple of laps. I'm not entirely sure, so we shall see. Here we go. Let's get down to the track. We got the medium and the softs. Quite a few softs coming in for the fronts there, I can see. Riccardo Rossi, quite a few hard rears. Quite a few hard rears, in fact, which is a bit strange. Scott Ogden, softs, fair play. That's probably not a bad shout. We've, of course, gone for a medium front and soft rear, so let's see how that does us. As we look at the grid, we are back onto pole position after our not-so-great qualifying in the last event, so let's see how we can get on around this Dutch Grand Prix. Here we go, clutches in, revs are up, and as the lights go out, we start this Dutch Grand Prix. Not the best start off of the line. Not going to be too risky coming into turn 1. Track limits warning. Trying to get back up the inside of Messia. Oh, that glitch just as that turned red there. That made me a little bit curious, cautious, not curious. Right, switch that down to power mapping 2. We shouldn't really need power mapping 3. Oh, Danny Algardo getting it a little bit wobbly there. I was going to say that's going to be a leopard up the inside. That wasn't a very good line. We're going to be up the inside of the leopard coming into here though. Can we get up the inside of Danny Algardo? We're going to have a little... He's released the brake. That's a brilliant move from Danny. We're going to be up the inside of the next corner though. A little bit of a block pass. Slightly cautious of fuel. It's going to be obviously going to be a thing for this Grand Prix then, isn't it, fuel? We are down on 1 lap of fuel already. Right, switch down to power mapping 1 just while we're ahead. See if we can gain some of that fuel back, because we are minus a whole lap of fuel at the moment. The fuel is coming back though. The gap's at 0.8 now to Danny Holgardo. We've obviously got a lot more pace, the AI around here. Well, we're on equal fuel, so let's just see if we can run up power mapping 2 without losing too much fuel. Otherwise we might have to conserve the fuel for a whole lap just to try and get to at least +1, something like that. Messia is now broken past Danny Holgardo. They are having a good old battle because now Danny Holgardo is back in front. That increasing the gap up to a second for us, so quite helpful that those two are battling each other there. Our main objective for this race, to beat Ivan Ortola, is going rather well with a 3.5 second lead on him. So, flat out through here. A little bit of curb on the entry. That's not too bad. Pick up a little bit of curb, well, most of the curb through there. Don't go too wide, mate, that's okay. Through the chicane. We're going to start the 3rd lap here with a gap of 1.8. Wow, that's some gap already. It's really strange. I've never really done very well round here. In most classes, to be fair. Always felt a little weird, this Assen track. Beautiful track. Obviously iconic as well. Been on the MotoGP calendar for a long time. But yeah, it's just something about it that's never quite clicked for us. But for this time, it is most definitely clicking here for our Moto3 season in this MotoGP 23 career mode story. I nearly got the rear end skipping out on us there. We don't quite want that. Gap's nearly 2 seconds already. It's only the 3rd lap. Yeah, I mean, we had the pace straight away, straight from even the wet session. Even in the wet, we had very good pace, and it was actually quite easy. I haven't really liked Moto 3s in the wet, or even any sort of bike in the wet, really, because the the rear wheel's skipping out on you, and it feels a little bit strange. It feels like it's skating on ice when you're in the wet. For the last sort of couple of additions to these MotoGP games, you don't really. It feels like you've got absolutely no grip in the rear. So another fastest lap of the race, 146.4. So we are motoring here. 2.6 second lead. Got a little bit lucky with practice 2, where it was mixed conditions. Actually, I think it was practice 3 now I'm talking about it. No, it was practice 2. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on too many things. Yeah, practice 2 was, we got a little bit lucky. We'd come out in the soft tyre very early, or soft tyre, wet tyres, very early and did 1 lap. And halfway through the lap, noticed very quickly that it was drying, so we managed to switch straight away. I'm just going down to power mapping 1 there as our fuel's back down to nearly past the minus point, so we're just going to have a couple of laps here at power mapping 1, which could be the reason as to why we have managed to pull away from the AI so much. As they were managing their fuel and we weren't, because they are catching up with us now. Gap's at 1.3, which is a hell of a lot different than what we were doing earlier. And our lap time isn't that bad. It's a 147 to be fair, so it's not great, but... Here we go then, we crossed the line with a gap of 1.5, a 147.5, so not a very good lap at all, but obviously not out by the fact that we're running in power mapping 1. We're just going to keep it on power mapping 1 for now, until we get to at least plus 1 lap of fuel, as we do not want to be running out of fuel. That would be a little embarrassing if we did. That's wide. That's very wide. So gap to Ortola is now 6.3 seconds. He isn't even in the top 8, so be interested to see where Ortola finishes in this race, because I don't think it's going to be that high. We are plus 1 lap of fuel, so we go down to power mapping, or we go back up to power mapping 2. And we'll just keep an eye on that fuel level. Currently sits at 0.9. We've got less than or just over a second now to the AI behind, where we've been running in that power mapping 1. That the right hand side of our rear tyre starting to wear quite a bit. Oh, perfect chicane that was. Another quickest lap of the race. Or not just. Well, no, that was, but I don't think it's by us now. I don't think we held... No, we just missed out. 146.496 is our quickest lap. That was a 146.497. So very close lap times there. Gap's back up to 1.2 now as we're in the 6th lap of this Dutch Grand Prix. We've got 2.5 laps left here. Oh, that was a slide. Left hand side of the tyre though, so not too much of a problem. Oh, I don't want to use my rear brake as we go into these right-handers now. Tell you what though, we are going to have to go back down to power mapping 1. It's only 0.1 lap of fuel again. Having to manage our fuel intake for this Dutch Grand Prix around this Assen racetrack. Making it much more easier for riders like Messier to try and break that gap and try and catch up with us here as we start up an ultimate lap with a lap time with a gap of 1.6 as we go very wide there. Have to use my rear brake then, which we don't really want to be using. Well, that's a track limits warning if I've ever seen one. Okay, gap is still 1.2, so the gap is okay for now. We're just running in power mapping 1. We've only got 0.5 of extra fuel, so we're just trying to save a little bit more fuel. Around this right-hander, use all of the track. I think we're going to have to stay in power mapping 1 here, just to ensure we finish this Grand Prix. Wider line. Perfect line through there. See what the gap is by the line. Gap by the line is 1.1. We've got 0.5 laps of fuel remaining, so we are going to have to stay in power mapping 1 here. But we have a second to second place, which is currently João Messier. We've got both Leopards, first and second, or sorry, second and third here for this Dutch Grand Prix so far. Don't quite know what happened to my teammate, but I'm pretty sure he qualified in 7th. Obviously he's not there now, so we don't quite know what happened to him. We're on the final lap. I think my fuel's going to be okay, providing we run in power mapping 1. We won't do a Brad Binder and get put back a place for going on the green. Although, for those that watched the British Grand Prix at the weekend just gone, you wouldn't have seen that. João Messier, obviously having some extra fuel to burn, has made the gap to 0.4 now. Is he going to be within touching distance? I don't think he's going to be, because we are much quicker through this sector as we take that wide line to get the power on. So I think we have done just enough fuel management, tyre management, because that rear right hand side tyre is starting to slide about. Here we go then, we're going to cross the line with a gap of nearly a second and another win. And of course we beat Ivan Ortola. Our teammate finished 10th, so not too bad from our teammate. 6.8 seconds off of us though. Ivan Ortola 13th, so I think he qualified 17th. So we've only managed to make up 4 spaces. Asman maybe? I'm not going to even try and pronounce that first name. He's got the quickest lap of the race with the 145.4, so that must have been Slipstream in there somewhere. Scott Ogden having an absolute howler down in 23rd. He was 19th on the grid, so not the best Grand Prix from Mr. Ogden. We are now 51 points in front of João Messier for the championship. So surely Surely Messiah has got to be our next rival. Taito Suzuki has made it up into third, so that's going to be good for both Leopards. Unfortunate for our team though, because we are now minus 18 points on the Leopard Racing team. So congrats to the Leopard Racing team. They are pulling away for the team championship. Unfortunately, our teammates just aren't able to catch up or cope with the pace that we are setting so far. So we pick up a few rewards here then. We've got the extra development as well. We've got the reputation points, and of course we've completed our one step at a time objective by beating Ivan Ortola. So hang on, what's this then? We've got the summer break. The summer break is the moment when you can express your aspirations for next season. Move on to a higher category next season. Yeah, of course we do. We want to be in Moto 2 next year. That's what we want to do. We want to be in Moto 2 next year. What is going on here? Raise the level. So, placed in the top 3 within 3 Grand Prix. So we've got the British Grand Prix, the Austrian Grand Prix, and the Catalonian Grand Prix. Following an exciting start of the season, Escarman wants to increase CFMOTO Racing, whatever that is, GP's ambitions. So we've got a couple of messages here. So we've got our teammate. First of all, we've got Jao Masia. A real coup for Escarman. Winning at Assen is always a source of pride. Now I'll take the time to arrive at Silverstone with the right energy to win. So what response have we got? Oh, we can't have a response. Okay, that's different. Xavier Artigas. Finally Moto3 has taken a break. We need it. It's been a tough half of the season. It's now time to recharge our batteries. Okay, so there we are. We don't have a rival for the next 3 Grand Prix. We've just got our own aspirations to increase here as we head into what appears to be round 10. Yeah, there we go then. So we head to the British Grand Prix for our next race, which will be pretty cool. Obviously a home race for us. Not a home race for the team, however, but it's a home race for us. But yeah, there we go. So that was it. Another win there at Assen. Normally a bogey track for me, and we had some very good pace around there, so I was quite surprised. In the race, however, fuel seemed to be a big factor. We needed to do a little bit more fuel preservation, if you like, than what we would have liked. But it happens sometimes, especially with these Moto3s. You're on the, on the full throttle red line in it through most of the track. Especially around this British Grand Prix as well. That's going to be pretty similar. So, yeah, unfortunately, that is all we've got time for today. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, my content, if you haven't subscribed already. And if you do subscribe, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting me, my channel, and my videos. And don't forget to hit that all-important notification bell so you don't miss any of them as they drop onto YouTube. And I shall see you all in the next video.